Hello. Today, we're gonna talk. I feel like we should talk. We, me, you. Let me just check it. I feel like there's little hairs. There is. There's a little tiny hair on my face. I'm probably shedding somewhere. It's either an eyelash or it's a makeup brush. All right. So, a lot's going on in the world today. Big things like forest fires, big things in the makeup community like Jeffree Star's collab with Shane Dawson, the longest docu-series commercial you've ever seen, and I'm loving every minute of it, even though I know exactly what it is, and I think that's the best part about it. Anyway, today's video is going to be just a discussion. It's mostly me talking to you, and you can talk back in the comment section about ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I know it's a hot topic, and I think that I'm going to have a very unpopular opinion. And the problem with being on YouTube and having an unpopular opinion, people take it so emotionally. There's a hard part about being on YouTube and being honest about how you feel about something, and people really taking it personally, really getting upset about it, and seeing you differently as a person. It's kind of like you don't have to be a Christian to be a good person, and you don't have to be a good person to be a Christian, although we associate those kind of things. It's like political parties. You can be a Republican and still have very liberal thoughts, and vice versa. And we sometimes forget that. And the makeup community, who am I? I'm sorry, who am I? Here's now time for my cheesy intro. I'm gonna give it to you right here. What's going on, you the tube? I am HotMessNess MUA, otherwise known as Vanessa. So I am HotMessNess, and you can call me Vanessa. That's what people call me. Ness, Nis, V, that kind of thing. But my whole thought process on ABH, I'm gonna try to get to the point, okay? I don't want people in my comment section literally saying they're disappointed in me, they just don't look at me the same way. It's like, therefore I unsubscribe. It happens when you just state your opinion. And the last time I went through this is and I'm a small channel, right? But I had a video where I was not pro Marlena. Now that does not mean that I would ever stop buying Makeup Geek. It didn't mean that I didn't like Marlena as a social media person that she's presented to us, but I was not all about, when she had her last goodbye influencers or whatever video, right? So I did a video on that, and in my comments, people went off. Some people were like, yeah, I understand, differences of opinion, no big deal. That's mostly what I would think adults would be like. And even people that have adult profile pictures let me know that they were not happy with my decisions. So I'm already letting you know that I understand that we may not agree. And if you leave it in the comments and we have a thoughtful conversation, that's fine. But literally being a jerk just because I don't agree, I'm in a new place, my friends. I don't care. I know that what my channel is, where I'm at, and I'm not worried anymore. I'm not worried about pissing everybody off and losing a bunch of people because it's fine. It's fine. It's just not that serious, okay? So now that I'm done with my little discourse, so this is a conversation, okay? That's what YouTube used to be like. It was tutorials, conversations, and skits. So I'm getting back to that place. What time is it? Okay. So ABH has recently released a whole bunch of crap, and it's made some people angry, mad, they are disappointed in ABH. And I'm like, I get it. I like to buy the makeup too, man. I get that FOMO too. but I don't understand your issues because you can't afford to buy it, therefore getting mad. Now, on the flip side, I get that ABH had a beautiful system before. It's like they came out spring, summer, fall, winter. And so you knew there's a couple palettes, maybe 4, maybe more, and it was attainable. And we like us makeup collectors and addicts, we like to attain collections. And when it becomes unattainable, too much, we get frustrated. In the same way that people get frustrated with ColourPop, yet they're still buying it. People are still buying all the crap, or they wouldn't release so much. Get what I'm saying? So just because you complain on Instagram or Twitter, if you're still buying it, you're feeding the beast. So I've seen a lot of people really upset about ABH doing so much, and I've seen a couple videos, and I kind of want to debunk a little bit. One of the first videos that I saw that I thought was fantastically put was from Lauren May Beauty. I'm going to link her down below. But Lauren May went through and broke down every single release that ABH has done this year. And you could see in the beginning of the year, it was really slow. It was like some glitters. Everybody was snooze fest too. They're like, oh, glitters, really? Then we got our palette, right? And then it was like, boom, 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 right at the end. And that really frustrated people. But I want to think about that, and maybe I can put up the calendar, but I really encourage you to watch Lauren May Beauty's video. But she had like a little calendar breaking down exactly when these products were released, and it really, when you looked at the whole year, it's not that much. First, I want to break down why I wanted to make this video, what really inspired this. One of my friends, Karen Harris, had posted on Twitter really speaking about women supporting other women, and she's big on it too. She, on her Instagram, she shares other creators. She talks about other creators all the time in her YouTube channel, and she was saying that it made her sad. I'm gonna get emotional over people I don't even know, but it made her sad to see women tearing down other women so much. And we're all supposed to be like support women brands and yada yada. And primarily when it came down to ABH, because ABH is a woman-run brand. You have Anastasia Beverly Hills. Well, who is Anastasia? Anastasia was the queen of brows. And she got her real jump start when Oprah talked about her, I believe it was 1998, and then she became the household name for brows, okay? And so then we have to break down who the other characters in these events are. There's her daughter, who is born Claudia, and otherwise known as Norvina. Both, okay? Norvina is her Instagram name. I believe that Norvina is the name that she wanted to be named, or her mother wanted to name her, but she had to be given a Romanian name. Don't roast me if I'm not perfectly on who is what and where and everything, but such is the story. And I totally understand where Karen's coming from, because you have this brand by this team of women. I know everybody thinks this is Anastasia Beverly Hills, okay? But this is mother and daughter duo at this point, running this business against huge corporations, and they have taken us to a place where we hold other companies to that standard. They have done that. I watched another video that was like all about ABH being run into the ground and the marketing of lies and all of this stuff. And I was really in awe of how much this person that did the video did not look into any fact checking. So I am going to break down a couple of the facts, okay? So Norvina / Claudia, same person, is Anastasia's daughter. The palettes that we all love so much have started color-wise with Claudia, Norvina. In 1994, I believe it was 94 or 95, when the first palette, eyeshadow palette, and I think it was Lavish, came out. It was Claudia Norvina who did that.
After a few years, my mom allowed me to move on from the front desk and go to the office. And once again, I had to start kind of at the bottom. So I started doing everything from assisting sales to doing product development and marketing. And that's really kind of where my passion really came through. And a year ago, my mom promoted me to president of the company. So my job responsibility is pretty much everything. So it's not just the color. The color is something that's fun to share with you guys and what you see from what I do, because it's not fun to talk about accounting. But I would actually say up until 2 years ago, we did have somebody that did all the product development, with the exception of brows, which my mom has always developed and will continue to do so forever. And I basically finally 2 years ago, angels staying down. I don't know what happened, but my mom allowed me to finally do product development. That meant that it started out with catwalk. My first venture into color, basically, that my mom allowed me to basically take on a project was the catwalk palette. And I don't know if you guys remember this one, but this was really, really fun because I was finally able to make the formula, make the colors, design the concept like I wanted.
So there's a lot of commentary going on right now about Norvina running ABH into the ground, but the color that you guys love so much was thus created by her. Her mother made her the CEO or the president, she made her the president of the company in like 94, 95. And she has been pretty much the head of product development. The person in charge of brows, the brow formulations, brow everything is Anastasia. That is her calling, that's what she does, and that's what put this brand on the map. But in order to stay relevant and with the times, not everyone is going to obsess over their brows forever and keep buying more and more brow stuff. You have to grow as a brand. And that's what Norvina has done. So we didn't really see a lot of her until I believe it was 95. And she couldn't post a whole lot about any of those things because the products that she was working on is eyeshadow palettes and single eyeshadows. And it was 80 and then it was 44. And so there's not a lot that you can talk about when everything's so far in the future. And that's something that we're seeing really brought to light by Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. They're doing this whole series and we realize, oh yeah, I remember that Instagram post or that Snapchat that he did. Oh, that was almost a year ago. So that's the same kind of thing to understand, that these people may not always be up front and center, but they've always been there creating. So I kind of wanted to give a little background on that. So Claudia Norvina is the CEO of the brand. She runs all kinds of elements within the brand. Those beautiful campaign images, her. The fun commercials that she's doing, her. Bringing the ABH studios to life, her. And then also creating the team. So she is like a female Jeffree Star in that sense. One of the other things that I saw was saying that she has like no social media presence. She's had a YouTube channel. That's how I knew about all of this stuff, was out of her mouth particularly. Why her name is what her name is and what her position in the company is. And talking about the very first color products that she got to work on was the eyeshadow palettes. So anytime you look at an ABH palette, modern Renaissance, which everyone loved so damn much, but all the palettes that came before and all the palettes that came after is Norvina.
In cosmetics, there's a few different ways that you can do it. You can go to so you can always do that. Or there's other third-party manufacturers that will create and develop a whole palette for you. So for instance, let's pretend Lavish. If I wanted to go to them, I'd say, oh, I want these formulas, and they would bring me a bunch of formulas and I'd pick them, and then they would, find a palette manufacturer wherever and make the palette and go through the whole process with me. They're called, they're kind of like a third-party manufacturer. So they're basically running around and sourcing all this stuff for me. Or you can do it the super hard and long way, which is what we do, and we make everything ourselves, we source everything ourselves, and we create everything ourselves. And I think as a creator, as an owner, as an artist, it's very fulfilling because I know that nobody else has our formula. Of course there's similarities, it's not rocket science. Like there's like formulas and there's certainly like colors, but it's unique. It didn't get picked from a book. So I will think of something that I want to do, similar to let's say contour. I'll work on the formula. I worked on that formula for about 6 months until I liked how it, felt and how it blended. And then you start working on the colors. And then while you're working on colors, you're working on packaging.
So, one of the other things that was said is it's weird that Norvina has her own palette. Not really, not when you know that she's been creating the palettes all of this time. And then she created Soft Glam for her mother. So I'm not saying you have to know this to enjoy the products, you don't. But it makes some things within the brand make more sense to me, and I think it would for you too. The other thing that a lot of people have said about ABH for a long time, it's always the same. It's always the same. Boring, regular, neutral colors, right? And then these pops of color. Well, you keep hearing that as a brand creator, so you want to go out of that. But you've built this strong community of people that love your brand so much. Why not segue into a sister brand, the Norvina collection? I think it makes perfect sense. And you don't have to buy every single item. That's the thing. There's no victimizing here. You shouldn't feel like makeup shamed because you didn't buy all the pro palettes and all the minis. And if you do feel some kind of way within yourself, maybe it's time to turn off the YouTube, disconnect from the Instagram a little bit, and not feel like you're pressured to buy every single thing or be a part of it, because there's just too much makeup, guys. Nobody gets mad at The Rock for expanding their collections. Nobody gets mad at whatever company does more and more and more, because they're trying to grab our dollars in any way they can. We don't call the brands evil for that. They're brands and they're trying to make money in any way they can. And if their customers are saying, we want more color, then you create something more colorful without freaking out the core line. So if you actually look at ABH as a whole and got through all of their palettes up to Riviera, and then you just went right into Jackie Aina and then Carly Bible, that would be your palettes for the year. And then Norvina was a side thing. And I remember reading the Instagram post literally saying that Norvina collection is like a sidestep to. This is ABH, but different. Same makers, but different. And to me, that just shows how forward-thinking Norvina is. Norvina is never going to see this video. This isn't for Norvina. This isn't for ABH. I'm not trying to get on the PR list. I could give two shits about it. It's really about, guys, use common sense. This is a makeup brand. You don't need to be mad at them. Just don't buy it if it doesn't interest you, but look at the options. Think about even the Carly palette. Do you know every shade of white girl can wear that? But what about the darker girls? So aren't those pigments a little bit something like out of the range? Give me some color, give me some life, give me some depth. I look at the way that ABH has run the company, and they're really trying to be the brand for everyone by including a gay drag queen to a chocolate woman to now these beautiful pigmented colors. I'm not saying they're everyone's best friend, but they're trying to appeal to everybody, and they're trying to take everyone's dollar. So it's like, just think critically. And don't believe everything you hear on the internet that someone's just handed Norvina this project and she's like, oh, I'm gonna just screw up ABH. The palettes that you've been loving since day one are Norvina. And she found a way to go, oh, let's create this. We don't see Anastasia holding up the palettes. We don't. They are her palettes, the Anastasia Soft Glam palette, the Anastasia whatever palette, but there's kind of like that ageism there, right? I mean, what 17, 18-year-old is going to buy the palette that has Miss Anastasia Soare, who is gorgeous? I mean, goals, right? Hold that up. It's not relatable to them. But Claudia, who's actually my age, she might even be a year older than me, who is stunning and has that fun, vibrant purple hair and has an extreme work ethic and has a vision where she tells stories with each one of her palettes, it's going to appeal to the much younger people and thus bringing ABH into the forefront again for both sides. So you've got your classic whatever palettes that everybody wants that are safer, and then you've got these bold, colorful things. The other thing I wanted to bring up was talking about lies. There were comments saying that Norvina lied about the releases or wasn't forthcoming. If this was supposed to be a thing with Sephora, they couldn't. They couldn't be like, hey, we're gonna do this gondola, so there's gonna be 3 and a mini palette and all these glitters, so just wait. Sephora has the exclusive. If there are contracts, then you can't speak about those things. And how many other brands talk about things too soon and they never happen? This was just mentioned on another channel about Storybook Cosmetics, who have shown sneak peeks to products that will never exist because they can't happen or something happened. But obviously, I believe that there are reasons that Norvina did not tell us that there's going to be 3 collections. It was just a little jarring. It was like, okay, number 1 came out, it was shipping confirmation, and then I was already seeing tweets, by the way, 2 and 3 are coming out on such and such day. Was I a little surprised to see the minis? Absolutely, but I'm not personally offended by it. And there's probably still time to take things back if you hate them, or sell them on Poshmark. Give them away to a friend. I don't know. If you don't like the formula, then why would you buy the minis? If you love the formula, the minis are brand new. And how do I know that? Because it was so awesome. Norvina tweeted me back and answered my question. I said, I got all 3. I don't want to buy a repeat shade. She's like, all new. So it's like, hey, cool. Maybe I might want one of those someday. Maybe I won't. I just think that we need to be a little kinder. And we might need to do a little bit of fact checking. Again, just because your favorite YouTuber says Norvina's a made-up person who just took over ABH, maybe look into that information a little bit, because it's not true. Do I know her? No. Do I know Norvina? No. Do I know if she's a good person? No. It doesn't really matter. I like the products that they come out with, and I like the vision. It's the same thing with Jeffree Star products. If you put them in regular flat palettes, you'd be like, these colors are great. But it's the story that they create that sucks you in. It's an alien, and it's bald, and it's this, and it's that. That's the fun part. It's the images of the Norvina 3 and the butterflies and all of that aesthetic that brings you in as a consumer and goes, ooh, I want some of that in my life, and it's brilliant. So if you're having a hard time trying to decide if you should buy something or not, maybe don't look at the images and just look at the shades and talk yourself out of it. Consume less YouTube. Consume less content. Don't feel like you have to buy everything. And I know it's hard. I struggle with it too, obviously, right? But it's just not that deep. And hey, chicks, let's go support each other. Let's stop tearing each other up. Because you know what's really fucking cool? It's really fucking cool to see that Jeffree Star took Shane Dawson and he's helping him. He helped Manny. Where are the women helping each other? I see it in the smaller beauty influencers. I see Angie shouting people out. I see, what's the other one? Oh, I can't think of her name. Samantha, Sam does it. You know, like all these people under 100K shout each other out, do collabs. It's a beautiful thing, and really uplift each other. But the big guys, we don't see any of that. Let's be better, guys. Let's be better. Let's not rip apart a brand. I'm not saying don't because they're chicks, but just like chill out, man. It's pretty awesome to see chicks ruling the world. And we sing the songs all the time. Who rules the world? You know, we're all about that, but then we're not. And it's icky. And I'd like to see better from us. Let's be better. Look at this. This makes me cry. Am I going to start my period? Look at what I've done. This was mostly rambling. And I'm not even digging on the original person who made the video. You know, they're obviously upset about, you know, ABH changing. Sometimes change scares us. But until you see the quality of the products actually go down, sometimes things are just duds. If they continue to be good quality, then there's nothing we can do about it. And if it's too expensive, which I know it is for me, I have to learn to put the brakes on. I'm tired of a society that's constantly blaming everybody else because we don't have self-control, whether it be with drugs, makeup, anything, sex, whatever. Have some self-control, take accountability, and if you can't afford it, don't buy it, okay? If it's something you really want, save for it. Old school techniques, people. Anyway, I hope I didn't make anybody too angry. I hope this video makes sense. Again, I am not an ABH stan. I'm not an anybody stan, really. It's just critical thinking and fact check, okay? You can't run around saying people aren't who they are and knowing that they've had their hands. That's that woman's business as far as I'm concerned. Anastasia started that, and Claudia is just as much the reason for the continued success. So good on you, ladies. Way to show us women how to be bomb. Show us how to be business people. Show us how to be creative and take on the world. It's cool. So let's be more like that. And yeah, leave your comments down below. I don't even know how I'm gonna edit this. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Be gentle, or I'll delete and block. Love you. Mwah. Bye. If you've made it this far, then subscribe. And here's more videos you can watch over here, or over here, or over here. Click them. Click them all.